No shortcuts, no fake. Spit and grind for the dreams you make. And every story's got a mountain to climb. It's what it takes to stand the test of time. Dig deep, keep the fire alive. Success is built on the will to survive. No easy path, just a burning need. It's what it takes to truly succeed. It's the hustle, it's the pain, it's the sunshine through the rain. Every step, every break, that's what it really takes. From the ground up, from dust to stars, chasing goals, chasing who you are. Every challenge, every fall, it's what it takes to rise above it all. So now you know the stories are real. What it takes is the fire you feel. Keep pushing on, no time for breaks. That's what it really takes. What it takes. From the ground up, from dust to stars, chasing goals, chasing who you are. Every challenge, every fall, it's what it takes to rise above it all. So now you know the stories are real. What it takes is the fire you feel. Keep pushing on, no time for breaks. That's what it really takes. No shortcuts, no fake. Spit and grind for the dreams you make. And every story's got a mountain to climb. It's what it takes to stand the test of time. Dig deep, keep the fire alive. Success is built on the will to survive. No easy path, just a burning need. It's what it takes to truly succeed. It's the hustle, it's the pain, it's the sunshine through the rain. Every step, every break, that's what it really takes. From the ground up, from dust to stars, chasing goals, chasing who you are. Every challenge, every fall, it's what it takes to rise above it all. So now you know the stories are real. What it takes is the fire you feel. Keep pushing on, no time for breaks. That's what it really takes. takes. No shortcuts, no fake. Spit and grind for the dreams you make. And every story's got a mountain to climb. It's what it takes to stand the test of time. Dig deep, keep the fire alive. Success is built on the will to survive. No easy path, just a burning need. It's what it takes to truly succeed. It's the hustle, it's the pain, it's the sunshine through the rain. Every step, every break, that's what it really takes. From the ground up, from dust to stars, chasing goals, chasing who you are. Every challenge, every fall, it's what it takes to rise above it all. So now you know the stories are real. What it takes is the fire you feel. Keep pushing on, no time for breaks. That's what it really takes. What it takes. From the ground up, from dust to stars, chasing goals, chasing who you are. Every challenge, every fall, it's what it takes to rise above it all. So now you know the stories are real. What it takes is the fire you feel. Keep pushing on, no time for breaks. That's what it really
If you have not
takes.
done so, subscribe. Also, let somebody else know that we are live. Comment, let me know where you're watching from. We're getting ready to get started, so go ahead, let's run the numbers up, guys. That's it. Y'all can go on.
No shortcuts, no fake. Spit and grind for the dreams you make. And every story's got a mountain to climb. It's what it takes to stand the test of time. Dig deep, keep the fire alive. Success is built on the will to survive. No
What's going on, everybody, over in the YouTube world? Listen, thank you for coming and tuning in here at What It Really Takes podcast. I'm your host, John Gettis. Listen, we back another week. It's Thursday. That's what time it is. It is Thursday, and guess what? It's the right time somewhere. So listen, we here. We get ready to go behind the scenes, into the minds, into the thoughts, into the process of making it happen, making it go, making it do what it do, staying consistent, being in the place at the right time, and understanding what it really, really, really takes. Listen, Instagram's over here, eavesdropping, but that's okay. I'm trying to encourage them to come over here to YouTube world, getting the link, getting the bio, subscribe, because they are missing a very, very great time over here with us. Listen, and we can't wait. Listen, if you're here, let's make some noise. Listen, subscribe. Make sure you like, share, let somebody know that guess what, we about to get ready to launch. Listen, the YouTube channel, you got to go, John Gettis. The link's in my bio. See, Instagram. Links in my bio. You gotta go over and check it out. Links in my bio. What It Really Takes, John Gettis. Links also pinned here. Was pinned here. Listen. If you over here in the Instagram world, you in the wrong circle. You need to go over to Instagram. You gotta go over to YouTube, y'all. Listen, we being patient with the people over in Instagram world that's still hiding up underneath the rock. Listen, come on, y'all. Come on. Over in YouTube world, you'll see it. Link is in my bio. Listen, go there. Make sure you like, comment, share, and let's make it happen. Okay. Yeah, you gotta check it out. Listen, it's time though. I got to go to the show and engage with the people that's over here. Do me a favor, share with somebody that guess what, we live. Go to the channel, share it on your social media channels, share it wherever you are at, to your friends, your family, because we getting ready to dive in to what it really takes over on YouTube. Listen, switch over, peace out. Talk to me over there too. Don't leave me out here in the dry. We live, so anything's possible. Everything's possible. Let's do it. Guys, have a good one. Let's go.
Easy path, just a burning need. It's what it takes to succeed. It's the hustle, it's the pain. It's the sunshine through the rain. Every step, every break. That's what it really takes.
All right. Now that's that. Listen, we here. We got present. What it do, y'all? How you doing? Let's make it happen. Instagram family, if you came over from Instagram, listen, let us know that you're here. If you present over here from Instagram world, listen, let us know that you're here. That's by waving of your hands. If I say, hey, check mark, I'm here. We in here. Listen, what it really takes. It really takes a whole lot, but we here. I'm your host, John Gettis. I've said this already. If you have not done so already, I want you to hit that bell, hit that notification, hit the like, and listen, let's do it. What's going on, Jared? Listen, you over here on the right place in the right time. I see you, sir. I see you. Listen, thank you for joining us. Listen, it's time. Listen, we talked about quite a few things here for the last time. What's going on, Raven? There we go. Listen, family, friends, y'all, we here. Listen, this is if this is your first time, you're about to really get ready to experience something different, something it's really just a talk. It's really a conversation. I can't wait, because we got to go ahead and explore some minds starting next week for sure. We're sitting down with guests, friends, popular people, people number one in the world. I can't wait next week. Number one, number uno. I can't wait to get into the minds of number one in the world. Sitting here on the podcast with me. I won't spoil it, but you guys stay tuned. Stay tuned to the page to see who it is that's coming to the show next week. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. So, but let us get ready to dive in. Listen. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about that big thing, that crazy thing that many of us deal with or talk about or comes across your mind, and that's that thing called momentum. Okay, momentum is very interesting, isn't it? To have momentum is good. Momentum they would say people choose momentum. Momentum chooses you, but momentum comes with consistency. We've talked about consistency in the last few weeks. We've talked about changing our mindset, shifting from having good thoughts, bad thoughts, a growth mindset, and also having a mindset to grow, to develop, and to be skillful, and to go from one place to another. Uh, and with that, you pick up something called momentum, because momentum comes with consistency, learning, having an eagerness to want to learn something new, become something new, not settling for what was in the past, what is, what isn't. It's that. That's really what momentum is. Momentum is knowing that you're in the middle of something. And I'm gonna tell you something about momentum. Everybody, every individual that has experienced momentum or a flutter or increase or a open mind, like just like, man, do you see all this that's happening? Do you see what's going on? Do you see? They also get in a place, even though things are happening, we get in a place that things are happening and we still feel as though what's happening isn't enough. All right, it's momentum. It is momentum. The crazy thing is that momentum is easy to notice when it's in its starts from small and starting to get somewhere. The hardest part to find is whether or not you're still in momentum when you're about halfway there. And this is what people do. Y'all don't have to say nothing. You don't have to tell me. I know. This is what people do when they're in a place of momentum and they're not sure about what momentum is really doing for them, whether or not they're in the right stride, whether or not they're in the right lane, whether or not I picked the right business, whether I'm enough, figuring out whether or not that this is what it is. When you're in that place and you're continuing to be consistent, still showing up, creating content, showing up, having talks, showing up, being who you are, being the voice, being the business person, being the smile, being who you are, having momentum, bringing things and adding value, and also value coming back to you, something happens called where you start to look around trying to figure out, am I doing it right? Are they doing it right? Am I on the same consistency? Am I on the same wave as them? Can I compete? Can I be compared? It happens. You're going to look around because momentum has a way to make you seem as though when you're in your stride that it's not enough or it is not happening. Have you ever moved so fast or you've been in something that moves so fast that makes it seem like that time is almost standing still? They would say that would be something like a roller coaster. A roller coaster, sometimes you know that bad boy is moving, but the thing that happens is people don't remember. Some people don't remember the drop. Some people don't remember the turn. They don't remember. All they remember is the beginning when they first screamed. They remember, and then they remember we went up, we went down, we went around the corner, loop-de-loop, and they get off the ride and they look back at the ride and they say, man, all that happened? Man, let's do it again, because I didn't experience that again. I didn't see that. I didn't feel that. My eyes was closed about 30% of the time. You ask me, listen, I promise you, I listen, they beg me all the time to ride a roller coaster. I ride it just to prove a point, but my life and my heart really can't take it. Listen, because I don't remember nothing. My life do flash before my eyes. I have to look at the bottom. I have to talk to myself. I have to tell myself, listen, there is a bottom. There is something down here. Listen, we are on the tracks. We are this. I have to talk to myself on the ride. And that's the same thing even with life and momentum that comes along in your life, that you have to remember that, guess what? I am on track. You have to talk to yourself. You have to motivate yourself in the moments that, guess what? It seems fearful. It seems like it's you're out of control. You don't have control. You're just in the ride for the adrenaline. You're in the ride for the thrill. You're in the ride, and sometimes that ride is called life. And sometimes all you can do is just jump into the ride and just ride it out. That's all you can do. With life, sometimes the only thing you can do is just jump in it and be like, listen, I know that, guess what, I'm on the course. I know this morning I prayed. I know this morning I was consistent in reading. I know that this morning that, guess what, I studied. I know this morning that I took my notes. I know that, guess what, I've been this type of person. I know that, guess what, I've been crossing my eyes. I know I've done the research. You have to know these things. It is so crazy to me that people still believe that, guess what, you can be ill-equipped and still get the same results. Impossible. You could not continue to be ill-equipped and get the same results. You have to know for yourself in your momentum that you are on course. We talked about this before. We talked about the fact that, guess what, when you're on the course, you have to know. You have to have the confidence. You have to have the integrity. You have to know the game plan. You have to have already written it out. You have to already know what the milestone looks like. You got to also know what is projected, what's supposed to happen. Who's supposed to know? You are the driver, the individual that is encouraging the vision, also asking for momentum. It's crazy, right? Listen, I'm going to tell you something else that's crazy. To ask for something and you don't know what the results are supposed to yield. That's crazy. That's beyond me. To ask for something and don't know what it's supposed to yield, don't know what it's supposed to do, don't know how it's supposed to be played, don't know how it's supposed to benefit you. You just want it because everybody else got a Rolls Royce. Oh, I just want it because, guess what, everybody else got 100 followers. I just want it because everybody else got a podcast. I just want it because, guess what, they got a business. I can do that little business. Listen to them. They ain't no little business. They already scaled it out to be a multi-million-dollar company. You scaling it to be a little business, and they scaling it to be something great. It is a difference in mindset. Everybody can have businesses. I promise you. We can go down a list of names of how many businesses people got businesses and names, and they ain't never been used because, guess what, they didn't have a mindset to see it grow. They had no end result. They didn't have no goal. They didn't have no mindset because they didn't understand what momentum was going to look like. They didn't know what it was supposed to taste like. They didn't know what it's going to feel like. They didn't know the pain of momentum. All right, let's talk about it. Hey, let's talk about it. If you have not done so, you supposed to be sharing or letting somebody know. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, listen, what about the pain of momentum? What are you talking about, John? What are you talking about, the pain of momentum? The pain of momentum is pain and momentum. What do you mean? Oh, those that think that, guess what, when momentum comes, I promise you, you will find a hater. I promise you, you will find somebody that says, listen, I can do it better. Listen, he think he's somebody. She thinks she's somebody. Listen, and the crazy thing is the one that know you the best. Is the one close to you. Is the one that, guess what, listen. What happens when that pain shows up? What happens when that See, I do know how to. I roll it back. Listen, I know we laugh. I know we present. Listen, what happens when that pain is from something close? Have you thought about, in the midst of momentum, what can be lost in momentum? And not just what can be lost, but what is necessary to be lost. All right, I'll talk to you. What is necessary to be lost? Because sometimes in your momentum, you got to lose some baggage. You got to lose some things. You got to let some things go, because guess what? Those things do hold you back from getting to the place of your destiny and your purpose and your plan and the vision and everything. And sometimes that, guess what? We have to pick you up around the corner. We have to pick you up when you are mature enough. We got to pick you up around the block. Every block ain't for everybody. Every place ain't for everybody. Oh, you didn't believe, but then they come back around and they show back up, man. I know him from back in the day. Isn't that interesting? You know me now. What happened back? Listen, now I'm hot. Now y'all on me. I listen. I thank you, Mike Jones. Listen. Okay. Now you know me. Listen, it's okay. You're going to lose some along the way. You're going to lose something along the way. It's part of what? Momentum is a part of what happens when somebody or something or things are not supposed to be in that lane. I'll lose it. I'll let it go. I'll let it pass. Do it. Say deuces, put your fingers up and walk out. Listen, if I catch you on the other side, I catch you on the other side. If I don't, I ain't gonna lose no sleep about it, because at the end of the day, it's what you have to know. It's momentum. Momentum deals with things that you would have to let go of. Momentum will deal with things that, guess what, will be lost in the sauce. Momentum will deal with things that, guess what, you can't even fathom and you can't even think of. It's the momentum. You got to understand momentum. You got to understand momentum sometimes is so fast, or it's speed. It's momentum. It's your strength. Hey, isn't it's interesting that some people don't want you to play in your strength. It's cool. There'll always be something or somebody or something out there that doesn't want you to play to your strength. They can know all day, man, you perfect for it. You perfect for it. But man, if they ever get into their strength, if they ever get into their bag, if they ever get into their wisdom, but the one thing is for sure, and you have to know this for certain, is that people can't take away what you're good at. They can try to mute it, but the only person that really allows it to be muted is you. The only person that allows things to continue to stop, to pause, is you. Is you. Let us talk about the me in the mirror. It's you. It's not them. That's their opinion that, guess what, you're not great. That's their opinion that you're not good. That's their opinion that, guess what, you have nothing to say. That's their opinion that, guess what, your cups and your mugs, your biscuits, your cooking, your all this ain't great. That's their opinion. Until it becomes better or it becomes great, I'm gonna continue to do it, because I know that, guess what, at the end of the day, it's my bag. It's my thing. It's my drive. It's my thing. Listen to me. It's your thing. You have to know what you know and be about yours. Okay. Listen. So be in momentum, be in it, and be consistent in it. Be consistent in your mind. Be consistent in what you do, how you do it, and where you do it. Okay. Listen. You're in your momentum. You're in your state. Listen. I promise you. Let's deal with this one. Let's deal with this. Listen. Let's deal with this. Momentum. You have to understand that momentum has also a routine. Building routine increases momentum. All right, let's talk about it. Because where the magic really happens, where what was bad becomes good, and what good becomes great, and what great becomes well above great, or exponentially great. I'm gonna tell you, it comes with consistency. You don't believe me? Let's talk about sports analogy. They said that most people be like, oh man, that joker couldn't catch a ball to save his life. Oh, this person couldn't shoot a basket to save their life. And guess what? All they did was they stayed consistent, went to practice. They stayed consistent, shot the free throws. They stayed consistent, ran the laps. They stayed consistent when others quit. See, there's a difference between the next person and the next person and you and whoever else you're sitting around, or those that it's your consistency. You have to have your routine. You have to build a routine to know when I'm going to do it, how I'm going to do it. Routine builds momentum. Not knowing information, not knowing people, not knowing who to brush shoulders with. That doesn't build momentum. Momentum is a routine. It is something that is done and knowing the system of it, and then being able to execute it. That builds what? Momentum. Oh, it didn't work today. It didn't work today. You have to know that the system works. You have to know that the proven idea, if I stick to it, sometimes it's not that the system's messed up or the process is messed up. Sometimes we are not executing it as well as we should to get the best result of what the practice is supposed to be. That's for sure. Sometimes we have to be more consistent in trying to get the practice in, to get the work done, to understand how consistent I need to be, how consistent I need to be with my talking, how consistent in order to be who I am, in order to be what you are, in order to be the best baker, to be best photographer, to be the best talk show host, to be the best person that you got to be. Guess what? You have to consistently do it. You have to talk to yourself. You have to talk in the mirror. You have to go bake. When guess what? You don't feel like baking. You have to go play. When guess what? You don't feel like playing. You have to do it consistently. This is what I do. I have to put in 2 hours. I have to put in 3 hours. I have to study here because consistency and routineness builds momentum because those things become habits. And where there is a habit, there is also consistency of growth. Where there is a habit, there's also an unlocked door. Where there is a habit, then guess what? It's just by habit that guess what? It happens. It's just by habit that guess what? Things start to come together. It's a game changer. It'd be like, man, oh, how did they make that? How did they make the score? How did they do this? Because guess what? Somebody would tell you that guess what? They run that play, I think about 99 times a day. They do this about 100 times a week. They do this about 30 times out the month. They do this and they run the play the same way, same consistency. But the crazy thing is that the more you run the play, the more you do a thing, the more it builds your confidence. So somebody may be thinking that guess what? Oh, that's the same play. But in actuality, what's happening on the inside of an individual, what's happening on the mind of an individual, what's happening on their route, what's happening in every step that they take, what's happening in every time they go to do it. They're building up confidence, they're building up consistency, they're going to another level. They're getting in the rep that guess what is necessary to get to the next level. If you don't put in the rep, guess what? You won't get to the next level. I promise you that, and I know it to be true. Listen, if you don't put in the rep, you don't put in the time, you won't graduate to from 5 pounds to 20 pounds. If you don't put in the rep, you won't get from 20 pounds to the 30 pounds. If you don't put in the reps, you don't put in the time, I promise you, the next time you go back, you might be up on 20 and you're not being consistent. I promise you, you'll be back down to 10. You may get a few, you may get something, but guess what? You won't get the best results because consistency builds strength. Consistency builds confidence. Consistency tells you that guess what? Oh, I can do this. It's not until you're being consistent and you understand the systematical ways of the way your mind works and the way that things work to build it. Everything you do has a purpose and a reason behind it and why you should do it and why you should be consistent in doing it. So what am I going to be? I'm going to be consistent in it. What am I going to be? I'm going to run with it. Momentum is everything you need it to be, and it experiences things that guess what? Sometimes we're not wanting to experience. It's changes in momentum. It's changes in momentum. But who talks about the changes in momentum? Who talks about the changes in momentum? Oh, you want to know what change look like? All right, listen. Changes in momentum is like the algorithm that goes on Instagram, YouTube, all these social medias and all those type of things. You be like, man, I did this, and it took off. I did this. It's almost the same thing, but ain't nothing happened. I did this, and I got 10 people like. I did this and I got this. I did this, I got a lot of views. I did this again and it didn't happen. But you have to know what was in, what was there. What is, you won't know the recipe of your success, of what is really going to take to get to your next level until you are consistently doing it and know it. You must know the ins and outs. You must know what is my client looking for? What is the world looking for? What is this? What are they looking for from who? Not them, but from me. From me. I don't want it to be what they're looking for from them. I want it. What are you looking for from me? Because I can't be them. I'm not trying to be. Period. I'm not. This podcast ain't for everybody. Listen, it's just for some people. Strategic, trying to get to another place, and I'm trying to help you to get from places stuck like I was. So that's why we're here, and I want to know really what it really takes. It's that. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely that. So you got to be consistent. You have to be accountable, and you have to celebrate. If I could say, the small wins. In order to get through the places of your momentum, you have to celebrate what you did do well. You have to pinpoint it. Celebrate it. Even if it wasn't the best, even if it wasn't the result that you were looking for, if you can see progress in it, celebrate it. If you can see progress in what you are doing, your goals, trying to get to, celebrate it. See, the thing is that many people don't know what their success or what their progress is, what it looks like. What does it look like to be consistent? What does it look like to have motivation? Because some people are fighting the very thing called motivation and fighting the very thing to the willpower to do. But today you got up and you just did a thing. Today you just got up and you just did it with no effort. You did it with no problem. Celebrate it. I'm happy. I'm excited. I didn't need no pumping. I didn't need 110 songs. I didn't need. Listen, I did it. Celebrate it. Now tomorrow, let's do it again. My thing is, you got to learn to celebrate the small wins. You got to celebrate how consistent you are. You got to celebrate where your flaws are. You got to identify the flaws. You got to identify the troubles, and then also execute in the areas to become great and become better. But if we are not trying to be better, we're not trying to become great, then guess what? It won't happen. It just won't happen. I'm trying to tell you. Why won't it happen? Because we're not trying to be consistent in what we're supposed to be. We're not trying to be consistent in what we're supposed to be. So how do we be great? We run and we tell and we make it happen. We gotta make it happen. You gotta make it happen. And consistency is a big thing. Consistency is something larger than life. Momentum is a big thing, but you have to know for yourself what momentum looks like. You have to know for yourself what the grind, what the result is, so you can celebrate your small wins. Celebrate, you gotta celebrate. Ain't nobody, don't wait for them to celebrate you. Don't wait for somebody else to define it. Don't do it. If you waiting, you in the wrong boat. If you are waiting for somebody to celebrate you, you are in a bad place. You better celebrate yourself. Man, I did it. Listen, I'm trying to tell you what I'm gonna do. After this episode, I'm gonna celebrate. Because guess what that is? That's 3. Oh, you don't know how many times I've started doing a thing and has not been consistent in it. Oh, but I'm here. 3 episodes down, and guess what? The next few episodes are going to be stupid. It's going to be crazy. So that's why I'm like, you got to celebrate your wins. You got to define it. You got to make it look like something. There you go, Jared. That's how you watch it. You got to watch those lives back. I go back and I watch. I'll be like, man, listen, I didn't make my eye contact how many times I needed to. I saw this. I saw that. You got to critique yourself. You have to know what the results are in order to do what you do and do what you do great. And at the end of the day, it's going to make sense. Listen, it's going to make sense. So that's what you got to do. I can go back and I can show you archives of things that I've done. But if you do not celebrate your small wins, nobody else will. Because I can go back to about 4 or 5 videos on this channel alone that guess what, I started, said I was going to do something and I didn't do it. I'm at the place that guess what, I have overcome that and become consistent in the place that guess what I'm supposed to be. That's how I know that guess what, I understand I'm going to be consistent and I'm continue to do. There's no excuses to it. I put no excuses to it. If the video ain't together, listen, we here, we present. If this ain't, we gonna continue to do what you gotta do. But you got to learn to celebrate and be accountable and hold yourself accountable for the small wins. What does the small win look like? I told you, it is your consistent, it is your definition, it is your defining it, it is what you is. But if you do not know what the end result supposed to look like, what does the cake supposed to look like, what does the photo supposed to look like to your liking, not to your discrepancy. Is it better than the 10 photos I took last week? Is it better than the videos I recorded 10 weeks ago? Is it better than this? Has it grown? Is it developing? What do I want it to be? What does I want the cake to look? What do I want people to feel when I bake the cake? What do I want people to feel when guess what, I've cooked the food? What do I want people to feel when guess what, they got my product, when they got my brand on, when they got this? What do I want them to feel? What do I want them to see? If you do not know what that is, guess what, you can't celebrate those wins. You would not be able to understand or identify with the smiles on individuals' faces. You won't be able to identify with when somebody gives you a compliment and they say, man, keep going. When you wouldn't understand it or how to celebrate it because you have not canvases out what momentum and what the celebration of where you're going and how you're trying to get there looks like. It looks better when you know. I'm telling you again, it looks better when you know, okay? It looks better when you know. You gotta know, you got to know. And you also, I'll talk about it. You gotta deal with people in your camp. You gotta have people that guess what, is able to tell you that guess what, man, that was trash. You be like, man, I thought that was my best work. That was my top. It might have been your top one, but it's not your best one yet. It might have been your top. It might have been best of 5, best of 3. Cool. I'm cool with best of 3. My thing is that guess what? Don't let your first one look like your 20th one. Don't let the rep. That means that guess what? You have not learned it yet. You're not willing to learn it. I talked about it last week. That guess what? You got to get outside of that stuck mindset and get into the growth mindset. The growth mindset. That guess what? If the result is not yielding, I got to do something different. But I have to know what is supposed to yield and what's supposed to happen and how it's supposed to work for me in order to make it make sense. Are we here? Are we present? So celebrate yourself in your accountability. Celebrate yourself as you are winning. Understand how consistent you need to be. I don't know what your this or what your that is, where you're trying to go, but listen, all of them work together the same way. You have to know and reward yourself for what you are doing and where you are going. If you are an inconsistent content creator and you want to be a content creator, man, I want to know how they make the check. I want to know how they make the money. They be consistent. They continue to show up. They continue to circulate old videos. You thought they took that picture today. They took that picture 10 days ago, last year, 3 months ago. They are 30 pounds heavier, 20 pounds lighter, XYZ, but we had done so, yeah. Hey, listen, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They just understand that guess what, the system works. And we have to understand that the system things that guess what, come with your business, come with your mind, come with the growth of your family, come with the growth of your strength of who you are and what you're going to become. You have to know that guess what, if I stay consistent at it, it's going to work. This is what it's going to look like. Well, John, that's not my dynamic. That's not my thoughts. Listen, it can be. It can be. But you have to be consistent and stop waiting on somebody else to celebrate you. Because if you wait, I promise you, you won't. Now listen, I think I celebrate myself probably more than I should. Okay, all right. And that's why is that? Because guess what? I know where I come from. I know how inconsistent how quick I can fold something up back into its box, how quick I can lower the camera, how quick I can just say, oh man, I forgot. Listen, let's not do it again. I know, but guess what? I'm holding myself accountable, regardless of what time, regardless of when it happens, how it happens. It is got to happen. You have to have this mindset. You have to have the mindset that guess what? I'm gonna have to have tough conversations. You have to have mindsets to be able to do something different. There's another technique that I would say you can use, and it's in the way of a 10-minute rule. If you're struggling with getting started, struggling with trying to figure out where that next idea is going to come from or what have you, you have to tell yourself, listen, let's take 10 minutes to brainstorm something. Let's think, meditate, what's needful, what's not, what's necessary, what's not. It's sometimes just clearing the head and clearing the mind to be able to get to the place that you unlock from the place of stuck. If you do not give your mind or give yourself time to breathe or think, those things, I promise you, things just don't. Sometimes they just don't work that way. They just don't work that way for us. You need to take time to think, take time to draw it out. If you want to go to the next level, you want to know what it takes, you're going to find out. I promise you're going to find out. Wait until I get my guest. I told you this. I got number one. My number one uno is coming next week. I can't wait. Listen, we gonna dig into that mind like it's nobody's business, because we've got to be able to know what happens and what goes on, and what it really takes, and where do we go from here. We have to. So I can't wait. So I'm wrapping it up. Let's wrap this up. Momentum is identified for us on different scales and different wavelengths. So you need to understand that momentum also comes with pain points. Momentum also comes with letting go of things, and also of things that, guess what, are necessarily needed to be lost in the place in the season of momentum. You're going to lose some things in the place of momentum, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay that I lose some people, some things, some thinkings, some ideas, because some of those ideas, they don't work in the place of your momentum. You have to work in the place of your momentum. That means momentum is behind you, pushing you through to the next place. And if you're still stuck wanting to hold on to what's behind you, momentum can't propel you forward, because you don't understand that at some point you gotta let go of that and let it follow you. It's got to catch its own feet and follow you and keep it moving. Y'all, listen, understand. Other thing is that your accountability must also be celebrated. What you do in the place of your momentum, you must celebrate what you've done well, what you're doing great. And I again tell you, do not wait for anybody else to celebrate you in the way that, guess what, you need to or want to be celebrated. Don't wait on it. Don't wait on it. Don't wait on it. If you want to, you go down to Insomnia Cookie and go get you a cookie and make you a cookie and be like, man, this is for me. Listen, if anybody ever want to do something for me, you can do it. You can send me an Insomnia Cookie. Okay, listen, give me a gift card. I promise you, I will use it. I promise you, I would. Listen, if you're not a cookie person, you can go to Nothing But Bun Cakes. They can give you that little small personal little cake. Listen, I promise you, you celebrate and you cut it and you make that slice and you make yourself feel at home. Listen, if you don't know, now you know. Listen, I like food, so listen, I'm okay with celebrating with a little feast. So some of y'all want to go buy something big and expensive. I get it, that's fine. Whatever your thing is. Listen, you don't have to always spend money in order to celebrate yourself. You can also have a checklist. You can have a goal mark. You don't let Instagram and YouTube set all your goals. You set yours too, and you celebrate, hey, when I reach this, I'm going to do this. When I get this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give back. This is what I'm going to do when I get here. This is what you have to have it laid out in order for there to be room for something else to happen. For me, I'll tell you, I have to know when I get to a certain place, when I get to a certain position, and I will, that I have to do something else on the back end. I have to provide something else more. And I'm hoping that right now, as we're progressing, I'm being able to be a help to somebody else, to help you get out of the place of you're stuck, to get to the place of I really need to continue to grind, continue to see it to the end. Because at the end of the day, we are created to be winners and to be successful. We are created to be more and better than what we were yesterday, every single day. And developing is a forever thing. You don't develop and then stop developing. You got to develop and continue to develop. Become the best version of you every day, not just one day out the week. Become the best version of you, because that's what it really, really takes. You guys, I hope that this episode helped you. Listen, we gonna get ready to get out of here, but if you have not done so, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to share tonight's podcast with somebody else. Tell them that that's what they need to go and watch it. They need to go and subscribe and listen. Tag me in it. I appreciate it. This is the podcast, What It Really Takes. Podcast with your host, John Gettis. If you have not subscribed, this is your first time tonight, listen, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification, so that way you can join us every single time that we do go live, or that videos are posted for the viewing pleasures of those as we get ready to dive into intriguing minds these next coming weeks. I promise you, if you ain't watching now, you gotta continue watching, because the episode's about to get crazy. And listen, I'm bringing my friends. I'm bringing people from far and near. So I'm excited to get ready to sit down and talk with them, just to figure out exactly what it really took for them to get to where they are now, and also to continue to go to the places that they are getting ready to intrigue to go into with everything that they have to endure. So I hope that you're ready. I hope that this podcast helps you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Listen, and I'll remind you, this podcast ain't for everybody, but it is for somebody. And I hope that, guess what, you'll help me make a difference. Subscribe and share, and I'll see you guys next week. Jared, thank you, sir, for joining. Thank you to everybody else, because I didn't see you. Raven, thank you also. And also to all those that listen, make sure you like this video, make sure you share, and we'll see you next week. Have a great one, guys.